As expected, a blowout in Lawrence. I'm Ryan Aber from newsok.com here with Jason Kersey, where Oklahoma beat Kansas 62-7 on Saturday afternoon. And Jason, we didn't see a record-breaking performance by Samaje Perine, but we saw a really good performance out of Oklahoma wide receiver Sterling Shepard today.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard had the second most receiving yards in a half in OU history. Came 4 short of Joaquin Iglesias' record. It was just a giant, monumental day for everybody, and I think it all sort of comes with a little bit of an asterisk. You sort of wonder, yes, they blew them out. Yes, they had a great performance, but it was Kansas. Kansas is arguably one of the worst teams in Big 12 history. They haven't won a game yet this year. So as good as this day was, I'm not sure how much you can take away from this other than the fact that they didn't come out flat. They managed to keep their foot on the gas pedal, even though they knew coming in what this was going to be like. But other than that, I'm not sure you can glean a whole lot from this.
But there were a couple of interesting notes in this game. One, Sam Grant caught his first ever touchdown pass.
First ever pass.
First ever pass,
Yeah.
Period. It wound up being for a touchdown. He had one a chance earlier in the game, but was able to convert that. It's big for a guy who's moved around a little bit offensively, and something neat to see out there.
Yeah, he's a guy who came in at a time when OU really needed tight ends in 2012. I think he thought he was going to play a lot when he got here. It didn't work out that way. He changed to offensive tackle. Still hasn't played a whole lot. So for him, he sort of changed jerseys to be in certain situations. And for him to get that moment, I think it was pretty cool. It was a big deal for him.
Yeah, another really cool moment was very late in the game. Trevor Knight, the backup quarterback, is in there. He hits Connor Knight, his twin brother, for a touchdown pass. I know the Knight family was here, and a very cool moment for them.
Yeah, it was a very cool moment for them. That's something that that family's kind of been through some ups and downs. Trevor Knight's injuries and those sorts of things. His back and forth. Was the starter, wasn't the starter. Then last year was the established starter. Comes into this year as the backup. I think that meant a lot to him and to his family. And then on top of that, Connor Knight's a walk-on. Has played a lot of special teams, been in a lot of blocking plays, but hadn't had a chance to do that. So for those two to have that moment, I think it was a very big deal for that family.
But back to the game today, like we said, 62-7. Not a whole lot not a whole lot went wrong for the Sooners, and you wonder how much you actually learn from a game like this. But there were some good signs, like you mentioned. They got going quickly in an atmosphere that was sort of dead. That's been a problem for this team, especially in the passing game. We talked about Sterling Shepard and the job that he did, but Baker Mayfield very efficient today, 27-32, 383 yards. Just exactly what you would like to see out of a game like this.
Yeah, I don't think you could ask for much more. When you're playing a team like this, the stands were pretty empty. Not very much energy, not very much excitement about this game. They're coming off a couple of really big, huge, monumental, emotional wins. So it would be natural for maybe there would be a letdown. I don't think there's any way they were going to lose this game, but I think it's sort of natural to think that there might be a little bit of a letdown or a slow start, and that wasn't the case.
And this is the really second of a, I don't want to say easy 3-game schedule, but a little bit of a lull in the schedule. Oklahoma hosts Iowa State next Saturday before the big stretch that we've all been waiting for when they play Baylor, TCU, and Oklahoma State to close the season.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this was a good sign today. I think they're going to have to do something similar next week to keep that momentum going into that Baylor game, because Baylor has blown them out the last 2 years, and they've beaten them 3 out of the last 4 years, and they played really well against them even in the one that OU won 3 years ago. So absolutely, I think it's very important that they keep that going heading into that stretch.
Once again, the final here: Oklahoma 62, Kansas 7. You can check out newsok.com every day and every morning in the Oklahoman for the best OU coverage anywhere.